looking at all the different scenarios that people have to face on the ground. And when I learned about the lockdown, a lot of people think, even to today, that the lockdown is like a fixed position. On the contrary, in my experience in Jiu-Jitsu, and I've been with Eddie now 16 years, I've been training all the time, literally every single day over this time, and that I have found that I'm on the bottom all the time, and happily, because I've understood that the lockdown is not a fixed position. The lockdown is a position that's it's very mobile, and we have to learn to use the lockdown to manipulate it. So far in this journey with me, you should have already realized that this lockdown is not something that you're flat on your back and you're stuck and you hold them there. Yes, I can do that. In the right situation, that can get me a stand-up in MMA. Absolutely. I can shake off the cobwebs if I've taken a good shot in the face. I've hit myself on the ground if I've been taken down. And I can hold the person there quite well, restrain the person off my back, lace up his legs and double underhooks underneath his body and hold him there and recover. But when I'm being offensive, and this is another thing I want to get into right now, to get into your mind to understand that this bottom half lockdown position, for me, and the way I've got taught, and the way I've seen my teacher utilize the lockdown so successfully over the years, and many of our students around the world, is that I have to learn to manipulate the movement. It's actually a very manipulated, mobile, balance displacing movement. And that starts to make me more offensive, not defensive. Initially, when you start working the lockdown, it may feel it's like a defensive maneuver off your back. But what if you had your game built on superior offense off your back? Therefore, you would have to have abilities to move side to side, up and down, forwards and backwards, very effectively off your back, because we have the friction of the ground that's actually hampering our position to move. That's why this lockdown is not a fixed position. It's an offensive, movable, mobile, manipulated position. We have to consistently whip and move our lower body, bumping them forward, using our grips and our arms to move them just like we would on top, but off our backs. Please remember, when I'm off my back, when Eddie's off his back, he is not being defensive. He's being offensive. If you look at Metamoris 3, the rematch of Royler, Eddie Bravo 2, you'll see Eddie immediately pulling quarter guard, getting the lockdown, and that is the beginning of a dominating 20 minutes against one of the greatest of all time. So go check out Metamoris 3, Royler Gracie versus Eddie Bravo number 2, and it will highlight my point of being totally offensive off your back. I mean, look at a rubber guard scenario. Look at any great guard, a butterfly guard, a butter half, a full guard. Anytime you have a dangerous guard player, he's able to secure submissions, reverse scenarios, counter, attack the legs off their back. They are purely offensive. And that's the last point. Look at a leg locker, for instance, for example. A leg locker is not starting on top. A leg locker, where does he start? He pulls guard. He dives straight in, he sits, butt scoots. He starts by elevating you. With his hooks, with his legs, with his clinches, with his upper body, to elevate you to get access to your lower body. This is exactly the same thing. The lockdown is like a superior leg fighting position. I'm going in there with my legs, I'm tangling up his legs, I'm clinching his upper body, I'm dealing with what his advantages are, seemingly from the top position, but I'm attacking them all offensively, with offense. So make sure when you're developing your lockdown, stay calm and relaxed and be patient, get your reps in, and remember that you're attacking your opponent off your back, you're being purely offensive, not defensive.